June 17th, 9:52 AM, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Hello everyone, Triple S back as more Apologist State's Attorney, back in the courtroom. I'm pretty sure this will be the last part of Turnabout Corner. This is the last thing, this is where we're going to round it all up and see who did what and when and why. So let's carry on. This is it, the big day. Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 AM or so. Oh, what time did you wake up? 3 AM. That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me. And the amazing Mr. Hat. Here's looking at you, kid. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Hey, get any sleep? Mr. Wright. I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow that place makes fake piano playing at the past the joint seem almost fun. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today? Take a guess. How about Little Plum? That Sherman tank of a mum. Nope, guess again. That's too bad. You know, speaking of mums, you need to find me a new mummy one of these days, Daddy. It's barely morning and you're at it already, Trucy. Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. So, Mr. Wright, you know who the prosecution's witness is? Alita Tiala, your client's fiancée. She's going to be a witness? But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiancé? You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something's going down today, that much is clear. Well, not to worry, I've got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of there. June 17th, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom Number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Waki Kitaki. The defence is ready, Your Honour. Prosecution is warmed up and it's a sold-out house. Very well, to recap, while yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party, guilty of panty snatching, we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant. Correct, Herr Judge, and today I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon, the preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see. His betrothed. His betrothed? His fiancée, Herr Judge. His partner for life, with no chance for parole. Very well, you may show the, lucky lady to the stand. Your name and occupation, Fraulein. Alita Tiala, my occupation is future wife. Ah, traditional values. I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded, underwater. Yet you're here today as a witness for the prosecution? To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first, but I couldn't hide the truth. Honesty, another admirable trait. Fraulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Waki Kitaki, confessed his plans? His plans for murder. Yep. The witness will please give her testimony to the court. Waki's plan. It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Waki found out that Dr. Maratis had lied, he flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. He took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Waki could have done it. So the pistol did belong to the Kitaki family then? Yep, with regards to this, an investigation is underway at the Kitaki mansion, on charges of the possession of illegal firearms. And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yep, this has been proven. How can you prove something like that? Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks. Rifling marks? Think of them as being a gun's fingerprint, Left on every bullet it fires. And when did you first hear about Wocky's plan? It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it. Very well. The defence may begin the cross-examination. We've got to go straight to Statement 5. I just don't see how anyone but Wocky could have done it. Wocky found out I'll take him. I just don't see how anyone but Wocky could have done it. Press. How can you say that for certain? How? Herr Forehead, you refrain from badgering the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Wocky was it, who took the pistol from his home. We know this for a fact now. I suppose we do. So, how could anyone else have used this pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, yeah? That does seem to be the case. Does the defence have anything to say regarding this point? Could someone else have used that pistol? Had to be Wocky. There was another. Based on your testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol. What's this? Interesting. Let's ask the defence then. Tell the court who this other person with access was. I think we all know who it was. Well, of course, I mean you, Miss Tiala. Me? But why? You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning. Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé? And killed a man in cold blood on his behalf? I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this... it does seem a bit... unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and for supporting your partner in life, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate at murder. I hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé. That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here? You know, I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing connection between the witness, Miss Tiala, and the victim. Where is it? Wocky's chart. Yep. That looks like a medical chart. Found inside a safe at the Monetisation clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart. What? Miss Tiala, whatever. What is your name on this chart? Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala? I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice. Our warm little fiancé just froze over. I was on staff at that clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that? Miss Tiala, you testified that you had no connection to the victim. And I don't. Now? Now? I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess, you're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right? That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love, past flaws and all, no matter... There's no connection now. Doesn't fly in a court of law. Doesn't fly? She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with her kitakis. You could say one tough cookie, that sounds more gangster to say than one tough nut. You left your job at the Monetisation clinic, true. But you remain connected somehow. Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Monetisation clinic. The sandals. These sandals were found in the Monetisation clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they? Ah! Well, who knows? I'm sure there are lots of people with those sandals. So sorry, Fraulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you. What's with you? I thought you were on my side. Perhaps you are unaware that toes leave toe prints? A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all. ... Well, now we see your true colours. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted you to help get Wacky back on the straight and narrow. This court thinks you need to worry less about Wacky and more about yourself. It sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story. Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you went there on the day of the murder. Well, there's a little point in denying it. Very well, the witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to Maractus Clinic that day? I'm just going to amend my guide here. The Maractus Clinic! Let's go. I did go to the clinic that day, my first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Wacky had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. Where else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful, as an old friend. By mistake, you mean? The mistake we heard about from the defendant? The botched operation? He was a timid small man, but I never wished him harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know? That does make sense. Yep, but there is still one thing, which does not. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home. I would have worn those sandals home too. So why were the sandals left behind? Ah! He pointed out the contradiction before me. There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there which you wore home by mistake? ... Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin. Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation. Yeah, forehead? Oh, what the... No fair! He's filling the holes in his testimony. The defence may begin the cross-examination. Right, so we're going to press statement 4. Why else would I have gone? 2, 3, 4. Where else would I have gone? Press. No dark secrets, eh? What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing. She's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it, too. You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind. I should tell him to be careful as an old friend. We're gonna go back to statement 4, and we present the chart. Objection! This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office. Yes? Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know where it was, don't you? Mind filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. Bad, Herr Doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. ... The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Wacky's failed operation. Interesting. You're in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kinda makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it? You're bold for a novice, I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents. This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly. Too bad, little attorney. Oh. My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet vibrate just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday. Like you said, when a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habits give them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. Huh? What's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe... Yes, that has to be it. Has to be it. Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine. Huh? I can't see it, but you can sense it. I don't know about that, Trucy. Don't have some kind of special power or anything. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony, but we don't know what a nervous habit is. Well then what do we do? You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses. It's up to me and my bracelets. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that testimony. Why would I go to the clinic now for a half-year-old chart? That's the one, and... bracelet time. Is that it? Wait a minute. Oh, damn it, I missed it. I had it on it, and then I missed it. The guide said... Here again. Wait for it. There we go. I was getting confused with the colouring of the text. Because it said, perceive at, go to the clinic now. But I wasn't seeing that. I was looking at the green like, why would I? But apparently it's there. So there we go. You're fiddling with your ring, Missy. Why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chat now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. It was quite clear, Miss Tiala, you have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? She was unsure, I saw it. Now, that's the key word. The chat wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Well, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Eh? Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chat a problem for you now. I've got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow, with evidence. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chat became a threat to you now because of this. Okay, where is it? That's not it. Wocky's checkup report. A health checkup report belonging to the defendants. The Katakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this? Oh, nothing. Why should I think anything? Oh, I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew what Wocky's chest x-ray would reveal. A full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you. Yike! She's got a big mouth. That's all, Your Honour. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic. But her connection was deep indeed, a bit too deep. If the Katakis got hold of this chat with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala? You guessed it. Order, order! I did it! I broke his testimony. Amazing, Apollo. Didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait! Huh? Miss Tiala? It's true that chat was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Wocky and went home. It appears this cross-examination is far from over. What? She hid the truth from us, this is clear, yet it is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. That was so close. You're still close, keep on her, Apollo. Okay, nothing happened at all, I warned him and left. We... press this. How did Dr. Maractus respond to the warning? Oh, he was quite surprised, panicky even. Who wouldn't be scared to learn a Kitaki was after them? Incidentally, this court is not afraid of any mobsters. Why, we had a life-threatening situation just yesterday, right here in this courtroom. Yeah, really impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir. After which I carried you back to your chambers. Sounds like the judge had quite a fright. Nothing happened in Dr. Maractus' office that day, huh? What about the mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo. I know. We can't prove when it happened. Nor that Alita Tiala was anyway involved. Well, let's try putting some evidence up anyway. There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic, and fast. Now we've got to go all the way back to nothing happened at all. Nothing happened at all, I warned him and left. We present... Bullet. You say nothing happened in the doctor's office. I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? Looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kinda like you, actually. This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala. Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe! I guess the police didn't check that far. But there was a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? Aha, take that. The pistol was taken from the Koteki mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves the firearm was discharged in that office on the day of the murder. Not bad, Herr Forehead. Bailiff, have this bullet analysed immediately. While this is happening, I'm going to amend my guide. 30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical. Dun dun dun. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. ... Perhaps the defence would like to state their position. The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. And at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe which contained the top secret chart. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus? I just spat everywhere. In order to open the safe? Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala. Order, order, order! Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiala knew about Waki Kitaki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination? What? That reminds me. Apparently the Kitakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money, fortune if you will. Nefarious, so she planned to marry him just to get her hands on his fortune. No? Is she gonna say no? Oh, it's Waki. You keep talking trash about my Alita, and I'll sue you, lawyer man. Huh? Me? Yeah, you said. You said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Well, you can't have her, she's mine. It was me. I shot that doctor, me. You left me to die, so I let him to die too. They're in that park. Well, Waki, just cool down a second, please. You keep your hands from my Alita, or I'll... Hee 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 ha. Miss Tiala? I'm sorry, it's been so long since I've laughed so hard. Something funny? Waki. Oh, sorry. Wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby? The signature on the chart, the engagement. Wow. Oh, my throat. I mean, come on. It's so obvious. even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Elita, your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Fraulein. Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean, anyway. So the family fortune is what you're really after. That's right, I wanted the money. No way, that's whack. I ain't trying to hear that. Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who, me? I believe you said you were going to abuse me. Accuse? What crime, might I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. You could have fired it into the safe after I've already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, are you an idiot? Are you an idiot? Okay, so what is she saying here? She's saying she went to the clinic, but why would the safe be open? It's not someone forcing them to open the safe. What? She's making no sense at all. Wait, but what are you talking about? Drusy, you had the most to lose if that chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol, now did I? Well, you could have taken walkies. You'd think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I've heard him say is, it was me, I shot him. That's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation, but the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What point? Certainly the Fraulein wanted that chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then wouldn't she have taken the chart? Oh. You see? That chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. Ah. He's right. Miss Tiala. Yes. It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé. Oh, I'm flattered. Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Martis clinic on the day of the crime. Okay. The Martis clinic 2. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Martis was shot in the temple or not. You went back later. That chart was dangerous, you understand. I needed to get rid of it, that's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Martis was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cups all over the place. Ah, that was you? Ah, Apollo! That sound! It came from behind this door. Someone's in there. A break-in! They left through that window. So you were the burglar. That was you two? If I only had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart. What? That's trespassing, and brazen at that. Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know. In any case, Mr. Justice, your examination. Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? We've got to go straight to statement 5. Frankly, I don't think it matters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press. The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes? So it seems. Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look and was shot. But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. Mr. Stickler shouted from this location the bullet couldn't hit his right temple. Silly, silly attorney. What? Do you remember what you had for breakfast that morning? Do you remember, Trucy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Then why don't you show us, Hair Forehead? Show you? What? Must I explain everything? Very well, let's recap. If the witness, Panties Guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Wakikitaki was standing at the killer mark, Wesley Stickler at the witness mark, and of course Palmeractis was at the victim mark. Let's hear what the defence has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim? He was standing someplace else, or she was standing someplace else. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime, without contradicting ourselves at some points. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Apparently, Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from? It's time to raise the roof and the stakes. Eh? Oh, pardon me. Palaces are such frightening things, don't you think? What if they were a bit more terrifying? Like so. Double penalty? Hair Forehead wishes to take us in a new direction? Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mrs. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that, and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the scene. The crime. I said it wrong. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. 3D. What a big nose he has. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no. Oh yes! Was it Churchill the dog? Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, toward the noodle stand. Order, order, order! So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Martis, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves someone was in the stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? Well, I've got it. Can't we just find, like, a bullet hole in the noodle stand? Or was there, like, an opening that wasn't through the door? Oh, probably not through the wall, was it? No. Yeah, think about it. I've got it right here. Intriguing. Let's see what you've got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. Slippers. The Monetisation Clinic. And they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene. Right next to the noodle stand. Ah! Oh, and Miss Tiala. Your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof you were inside that noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith? Observe the diagram. A park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. The slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle making trade. There's no room for a person to hide in there. You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand? Apollo, I think I might be onto something. Huh? I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be... Well, Mr. Justice, you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand. I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. Oops, went past it. Whoa. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's Noodles noodle stand. Yes, and what about it? We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday. In the lobby of the Monetisation Clinic. A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic? Mr. Eldoon was very clear about these bowls. Those bowls. Well, I don't care who did it, but at that stand I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside that noodle stand. Space created at the Monetisation Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Stop! I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines. I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent. Show me an innocent, I'll show you a fairy tale. In any case, the defence has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Monetisation. More fairy tales, this whole trial is a fairy tale. Then please pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself. This is it. Why was Dr. Monetisation pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. I'm going to amend my guide, and this is the last testimony of the case. Crap, I didn't read what the thing was called. That night I went to ask Dr. Monetisation for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. But Dr. Monetisation didn't understand. For some reason he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Ooh, I just noticed her tell. You know about the botched operation, so you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. And I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. Told him that Brat got his self-check-up report. And that he was coming to settle the score. I see. Very well, Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination. Yep, Your Honour. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over. We're going to go to Statement 5, so I gave up and went home. Tiala's explanation, that's what it was called. Practice. Some reason he thought Capcom sent me. I like how you don't get any hint that you have to perceive something. I mean, he says perceive, but there's no hint on any of the statements that you have to perceive. So I think if you were doing this normally without a guide, you'd have to perceive each statement and see if any tells were in any of the statements. And apparently, it's in this statement. Gotta wait for it. Oh, there it is. Gotcha. Found it. All I did was talk and lie. What? Show me proof. I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence and they give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him. You claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the air with your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? This is working better than I'd hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. It seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? It seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Practice Clinic office. ... And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. Where is it? Where is it? That lamp. Well, what's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch on the cord. Eh? Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for this lamp's state. Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple, Miss Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. Eek! And if you don't remove it, then that shows, you know, very bad stuff. This is a trial to determine what happened in that park, yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove my clothing. Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. What? You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf. Boom! The judge is on my side. No. No! What's with her armpit? I just noticed that. I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Ooh. Your neck. Isn't what I think it is it? Something did happen that night at the Practice Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiancé's pistol to do it. But wait. Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, looks like the very opposite happened. Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness. Specifically, you tried to threaten Dr. Practice and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Practice Clinic. Dead. She died. Game over. Order, order, order! Will someone please tell me what really happened? I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Practice. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you. Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient. We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me. So you can save your own skin. What? I know what you're up to. You want in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I'll want some company! You! And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Oh god, that's painful. Palmeraxis was serious, deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. And he thought you were dead. But you weren't. He's clicking away. So, you were the victim. And the red splotch on the cord was your lipstick. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? Eh? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into that noodle stand. But how could I? I shouldn't sneak in there. Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at Maraxis clinic. And it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself. I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. It's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now? You bear some responsibility for friends that day, true. Yet if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala. When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathising with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala? Very well, this finishes the cross-examination of this. Ooh. Oh, Gavin. Not so fast. This party is just getting started. Now we rock. What? Those spikes in your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way? Prosecutor Gavin? Palmeraxis choked Alita Tiala. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right. There is more we don't know. But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while. Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand? Alita Tiala half dead, Dr. Martis pulling that stand, and a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night. Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet. You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin. Me? Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's go back over what we've learned up till now. On the day of the murder, Wookie saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractis some of his own medicine. Miss Tiala heard about this from Wookie, so she went to the Maractis clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the charge with her signature. But then something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold. But what about Dr. Maractis? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiala, perhaps he thought to death. What did he do after his crime? I was just knocked out, not dead. On the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Hair Forehead, care to guess? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractis do? Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? The balls. A large quantity of balls were found in the clinic. Balls that belonged in a certain noodle stand, which means the stand was at that clinic. Why? Because Dr. Maractis stole it and brought it there. What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole the noodle stand? It wasn't so random. Remember, he removed all the balls. Maybe because the stand was heavy? Or he went to put something in the stand in their place. Ah. Wait, you don't mean... I do. Dr. Maractis did replace those balls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala. My corpse? corpse. Dr. Monetisation panicked. He thought he killed you. His next move would be to dispose of the body. That's crazy talk. You're all crazy. And let's think about it, logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Wakikitaki? I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with? That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand. Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What? Apparently the defence has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Monetisation was heading with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragging that stand? All the way over here to the river. There, that's a river. Yep, Your Honour. I scarcely need to explain why. A perfect place to dispose of a body. He was going to throw me into that river. Didn't have many other options, Fraulein. ... I believe this clears up all the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand and the defendant pulling before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Alita Ciala. And then the denouement. Wesley Stickler, of panty snatching fame, walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts. In that instant, 3D! Very janky 3D. So it was through a wall then. You just looked for a bullet hole and you would have found out that he shot through the thing. So I shot him. Oh, maybe they might have thought that it went like through his head into the needle stands and not the other way. But I don't know. You were the only one who could have stolen Wookie's pistol. It had to be you. Well, Miss Tiala. Huh. Nice work. You mean I'm right? I mean you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. To get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Monetisation pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? There's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. Whereof what? I can't believe she's still trying to deny this. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out Herr Forehead's errors? Maybe there really is something. I believe the Fraulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car? That's right, the Rat's clinic is that big garage garage. In which sat a green sports car, was it? Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If you wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. And so we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand. And our defence without a case. I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken. Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Eh? Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy. Daddy? That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was that green sports car. Oh yes, I'd nearly forgotten about that. Afterward, he drove it back to that garage garage. It ran fine. That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car, huh? A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. No. No! Oh, my throat. Order, order, order. Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Monetisation use his car to carry the body? Is that a groan of surrender I hear? God, my throat. Some advice, now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned? Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defence will explain to us what happened that night. Someone else stole the stand, the car didn't run, he carried the body in the car. The car didn't run. I have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Martis couldn't use his car. Ha! Now you're making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Tiala. Put one and one together, and the explanation is simple. If it's so simple, perhaps you could show us some evidence. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. Ta-da! Let's see now. Panties again? All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth. Another crime was committed that night of the murder. The theft of these panties, the latest in a string of similar thefts actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid. Where's that dog come from, by the way? I just thought of that. Why is there a dog there? Whose dog's that? I want that dog. In the Martis clinic, garage. What? The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them? Why won't they find the car's exhaust pipe? Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. So you were here investigating? And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe. Too bad. Looks like such a nice bike too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that. Cars, motorbikes, they're all the same. Clogged exhaust and they won't run. My, how interesting. When Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Martis garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start. What? That's why Dr. Martis had to use the null stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Well, Miss Tiala, this wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think. So it does. Where am I? So dark, can't see, cramped. Pain, my throat's burning. What's your problem? You Doc, I know what you did. Ah! Wacky? You lied to me, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait, let me explain. Fine, I'll give you your last request. Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me. No, he'll ruin everything. I have to stop him. Thesis wants you to. Ooh. Funny, this isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well, too bad. There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand? In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police. Which is when I made my escape. Which is when you left that slipper print. Dr. Martis didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though. That was your mistake. No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. Eh? I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Wacky declared guilty, it was you. ... I believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing? She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. How she gets to Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost. I think he already knew. He'd figured out she was the killer a while ago. Some advice, now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. You lost, but I didn't exactly win either. Huh? Something the matter, Hair Forehead? Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Not guilty! Yay! Although Woki's not going to be happy about what she did to him. Court is adjourned. June 17, 4:12 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did somehow. Woki's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank. Hey, I tell you, man. You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes. All to blame, I guess. You give my Alita back. Stupid pointed head attorney with a death wish. Enough, Woki. Ah, Mr. Kitaki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Woki. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you opened yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman. Don't talk about you don't understand, Woki. I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out. If not in jail, wouldn't that be a happy ending? Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kitaki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Woki. Woki, Apollo has something to tell you. Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot. What's that? Show him the reason why, Apollo. Why is Mr. Kitaki trying to become a businessman? Where is it? Woki's check-up report. Think about it, Woki. Think about your condition. I talked to your mother, little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. She doesn't mean... You aren't really... Are you? I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Woki. But it's an expensive procedure. Man, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Woki. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. And finally he opens his eyes. Please understand, Woki. That looks so weird. Dad! Man, I see how it is, old man. Always you looking out for... Woki? Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see you as the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer. My Woki! No, it's as it should be. Mr. Kitaki, I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words. But I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you. Who? Me? I don't think. Someday, I'll bake you one of our latest, the Kitaki Lime Pie. He's opening a pie shop? So long. Oh, I'd like to go to that shop. And he was gone. When I said back, Apollo, to the Write Anything agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? Oh, we make a good team. Don't just stand there, let's get going. Heh, why not? She did help me out. There's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become. Oh, that's right. We have to go someplace first. Huh? Where? Why to claim my reward from Mr. Eldoon? Ah, salty noodles. Right. You got your stand back already? Oh, and after that, you can come see my show. With a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat. Oh, it's special, alright. Please, anything but him. the end! There we go. That's the end of Turnabout Corner. And a new episode has been added, Turnabout Serenade. So, we are officially halfway through this game. There are only 4 cases, and we're just on the second one, so we're halfway through the game, so. I say so many times, don't I? So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time with some more Apologies Ace Attorney, where we'll do Turnabout Serenade, which gets back into the track, sort of the main story of the game. Where this case, Turnabout Corner, was kind of like a filler episode. The next one gets sort of back into it, and then we wrap it all up with the final case, which I cannot remember the name of. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.